Hello, everybody. Welcome to Connections for Life. I'm Ted P.
I'm Chad Kuval here on my AirPods in the middle of the street, desert. Not sure where I am.
I love how you're holding this.
I gotta hold on somehow.
It's a mini bike.
How come you're standing still?
I'm gonna pull over. All
right.
You switch helmets?
Yeah, I'm gonna put my hat on too. All right, go ahead. You're Joe, aren't you? Sorry.
That is an impressive look for you.
Thanks.
Go back to the one where we can't see your face.
Look like you're in an old space helmet.
That's Cookie from Men of Honor. I want my 2 steps, Cookie.
Never seen it.
Oh, great movie with Robert De Niro and Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember
line, Cookie.
All right, let's move on. Jeez.
What's going on?
Teddy and your movie references are amazing all the time.
Thank you.
What's going on? It's been 2 solid weeks of us not putting anything
and
out.
no one said a word.
No, except us to each other. Vacation, man, solid 2 weeks though. We went on a cruise we were gone for 10 days, so that killed part of that, and one of the reasons why. What an amazing time we had there. Last week was just spent pretty much. I feel like I just spent catching up from missing those days, pretty much.
Yeah, it's always that way.
Teddy and I were not on vacation.
No,
somebody's got to work around here.
Joe worked. I didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah. So, how about Chad went on vacation? What have you been up to, Joe?
Oh, nothing. That's it. No. Let's see. This weekend. Well, we already talked about Macy's soccer, so I'm not going to bring that up again.
Oh, you talk about that again. Go ahead.
Yeah, her team's number one in the state. They got pumped on Saturday by the number 2 team in the state. It was a lot, it was it's like a 2.5 hour drive out there to play a game. And I think, the kids just didn't play great. So whatever. I think if they played them again, they'd fare much better, but it's okay. I'm glad they lost kind of. Maybe it'll motivate them a little bit more. But in bigger and better news, Callie's birthday was Thursday. So she's now 8. So I can't say I have a 7-year-old anymore. She's now an 8-year-old. And she had a birthday party yesterday at the local gymnastics place. So that was a disaster. But that
was a disaster.
Yeah. But no, it was good. It was good. She had a good birthday. And back at it. This week we're doing this. And then next week, Chad and I will be traveling a bit. So trying to get some things done this week. Yeah. How about you, Ted?
Lots of basketball in the last couple of weeks. We've actually traveled 3 consecutive weekends to 2 down to a large facility where we won a couple national level bracket for our 16 and 17 new teams. So we won a couple national level tournaments there, and then we lost in the semis the second week down there. And then this past weekend, we won the 16 and the 15s, won titles up in Brockport. And that's been my week. It's work all week and basketball all weekend. Nothing else has changed. And
Ted's really impressed with Hilton.
It's particularly the DoubleTree in Rochester.
DoubleTree is no longer going to be a recipient of my business.
I'm going to tag this.
I'll bet you $20 you stay there again.
Only if you're in town.
Yep, there it is.
Because the only reason I'll say that is because I'll be like, Joe, I'm staying in here.
Because I'm not staying anywhere else.
Joe's not staying anywhere else. Joe also has a terrible reputation of staying at hotels entirely past their livelihood. Like, Joe will still stay at a place after it's gone.
Dude, I'm a creature of habit. I know what I know. I like what I like. That's why I stay at Hilton Garden Inns all the time, because I know when I walk in, they're going to be exactly the same almost every time.
Yeah. But
they're not the nicest. They're not the best. But I know what I get.
When they reach the bottom, though, Joe still stays there instead of like, I should consider moving.
Maybe I should think about a different one.
And he doesn't think about that until somebody else brings it to his attention.
I'm
like, hey, Joe, I don't want to stay here. And he's
listen,
like,
just because you had a bad experience doesn't mean anybody else did.
I've been with you during several bad experiences now.
Not there.
You had 11 out of 18 working toilets over the weekend. I mean, that's 17. A positive, Ted.
It's a positive.
My bad.
Yeah. 11 toilets out of the 18 rooms.
Prima donna. How many toilets do you need to work?
How many do you need?
One. I only need one, buddy. I don't know.
One in each room?
Yeah.
I would also like the doors to lock.
Yeah, that is a problem there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
He knows it. His door wasn't on the hinge last week.
That's true. I couldn't get into the room. I had to I'd shoulder in like I was breaking down a
We should do a show on worst hotel stories.
Oh my
That would be a
gosh,
fun
we
one.
got
I have a few. I mean, I can think.
Why don't
of
we just
tons
add
of
that
content
in?
off
Why
of
don't we
that.
add that in? No one's got one worse than me.
Yeah. Tell
Which
yours.
one is yours? I don't want to know.
Huh?
Let's hear it.
No,
Yeah, go
I'll wait for the segment.
Okay.
The segment is now the closing of this episode.
Well,
On the
Maybe it
backside,
is.
we're telling terrible hotel stories, folks. Tune in after the interview for the worst
I see. I
hotel stories ever.
think we should have something called storytellers, and we should have like a 5-minute segment where somebody tells a story about something, right? Like whether it be something fun. The problem is that
I think that's a great idea.
but I
like,
can't
I-
tell a story without swearing.
Oh,
So-
I can, especially about scuba diving. I can definitely tell that story.
Do you
And
know
it's-
how? That's funny. Do you know how to beep?
almost died.
Can you beep me? Beep 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 beep.
No,
No? All right.
you can do it yourself every time you curse. You can go,
We don't have that as those editing capabilities.
Yeah.
not a chance.
Well, that beep.
Thanks.
Just hold the beat button for you, Joe. That was all it'd be.
All right, what do we got? What's next? Moving on from our personal agendas.
It's your time, Joe.
What do you guys want to do first?
I'm trying to.
It's your
figure
portion
out-
of the show.
Idiom.
I lost my stuff.
Gas fact, idiom, pick one.
Have we done this one before? Have we done this one
Wait.
before?
You think I would remember?
You think?
Right,
I
that's what I'm
gave you a
saying.
gas
I took
fact.
idiom like
I
that
would
one.
give you a gas fact that we have shared 4 times on the show. and thought it was new. Joe's idiom corner.
I don't know if we've done this one, but we're gonna do it anyways because I don't remember. And if you don't, if I
It'll
don't
be new
remember,
to
you
me.
certainly
It'll be
don't.
new to me.
So you guys have heard "Cat Got Your Tongue."
Oh, we got this one. No, I have no idea. Just kidding.
So it's a question that's like thrown to a person when he doesn't know what to say. Like you like, what's your name? You know, saying that "Cat got your tongue." Like so, it's not like responding to a question, right? So I'm gonna start with Teddy because Chad. Well, actually,
Start with Chad. Start with Chad.
All right, I'm gonna start with Chad this time. "Cat got your tongue." Where do you think that idiom come from?
Maybe some big cat eating somebody's tongue.
Wow. You went fairly literal.
Right.
Yeah, actually, the definition is some big cat ate a tongue. That's exactly what it says. You nailed it.
Way to go, Chad.
You couldn't even put a little flair into it. You leaving? No, he's leaving.
I think we might be okay.
I was gonna go celebrate my victory in the living room.
He's gonna start drinking. Chad was gonna go have a celebratory toast.
Do a bottle of champagne, let it pop.
Go ahead, Teddy. What do you got?
Cat got your tongue. I'm gonna go with ancient Egypt because cats are considered like amazing, magnificent creatures over there. And we're gonna say that
They weren't called cats, though. They're called.
So, and I'm gonna say that essentially because they were considered like pristine animals, when someone was considered a liar or as a form of capital punishment or something like that, they cut out their tongue and fed it to the cats.
That is 100% accurate.
No, it's not.
I'm not even kidding.
No.
That's 2 in a row.
Well, maybe. There's two. There's two. The
If
second
you got
you
one,
got.
it's
So one of the possible sources for this phrase is the cat o' nine tails, which was a whip that was used for flogging in the English Navy.
Okay.
So when you'd whip somebody, they would not be saying much, and they would be like, "Cat got your tongue." I don't think that's the right one though. The second one is being whipped caused. Oh wait, sorry, this is still the first one. Being whipped caused severe pain that the victim would stay mute for an extended amount of time. So that's why they say "got your tongue" for that particular one. A second possible origin is ancient Egypt, where people would cut out blasphemers and liars' tongues and feed them to the cats.
wow.
Yeah.
Times in a row.
Holy sugar pie.
Oh, wow, you almost went beep.
Holy beep 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 beep. beep,
What is
beep.
that, Morse code?
I called ahead. And told Teddy what this was, so he googled it.
He 100% did not. And I'm taking credit for getting 2 in a row right. I'm done.
He
I'm
did.
leaving. I'll
He
see
did.
you guys. I did my part of the
See?
show.
Yeah, you can't remember. You can't remember that the pina colada fountain in front of the
I
hotel.
can't remember the
The amazing part is we just get cat got your tongue 6 weeks ago. That's awesome.
I'm gonna start redoing them, and you guys get excited about getting the answers. I'm gonna be like, it's because
The
I
best
told
part
you
is I'm
already.
still not going to answer it.
We already did this one 3 weeks ago. You knucklehead. No, I'm just kidding. Teddy, you got it. Good job, buddy.
Wow.
All right, let's move on.
Dude, I was making that up in my head as it went along. Like this whole process.
We give you credit. What do you want? You want a gold star or a party? Yeah, can you make some confetti go off on your screen? Something?
No, give him the thumbs up.
I thought I knew last week's though. Like I knew last week's. I didn't know.
You didn't do one last week or the week before.
The last one we did with Jim and James.
Are you doing them at home by yourself? Is that the problem?
James. You got the Jim and James one right.
Which one was that? We already did that one. That wasn't new.
And then he got it right. Good job.
I don't even remember what it was. So
his face. Look at
I have no idea. All right, what's happening now?
Now we're going to Joe's Gas Fab.
All right. Please don't sing. You guys should get like a little like thing that comes on when you put that up.
Hold on. I got an idea.
We do.
Vancouver. I need to chill out with it. I'm not doing it now.
The lights are on. The lights are bright.
All right, we'll go back
bright.
to
You just look crazy. They're not that bright. You just look insane. I just threw a paperclip at you. What's happening behind your camera, we can't really tell, to be honest with you.
I hit you in the face with the paperclip.
No, you didn't. Oh, what if I did that?
That's awesome.
All right, so guys, for the last few decades, coal's been the world's primary natural resource, right? I mean, that's not any secret. But with climate change and greenhouse gases and other things that we're communicating about, other natural resources, i.e. natural gas, have become more popular, and because of the better return, their cleaner substance, all those things. So I think one of the things that's important that we remember is without, we want to go green, but we can't go green without like sacrifice, right? Like there's got to be sacrifice. There has to be. And the problem is that everybody wants to go green without any sacrifice. We'll talk about more of that later, I'm sure. But the one thing I want to point out is that we talk about going to a greener solutions, greener way, and everybody wants to get to zero, right? But no one really seems to care that when you knock it down a specific percentage, if you're doing something that was 100% bad, now it's only 20% bad, right? I'm using random numbers. Like you've made improvements. That's a good thing, you would assume. And natural gas does that for coal in comparison to coal and also oil. But today's question is, and it's also online, natural gas emits approximately blank % less greenhouse gas than coal to produce the same amount of electricity. And on my poll, I just realized as I look at it, I wrote electricity twice. So it says the same amount of electricity, but it's only one electricity.
It's electric.
And I can't edit it. So this week's poll is just going to look ridiculous.
Fits the provider.
So the choices are, again, natural gas emits approximately blank % less greenhouse gas than coal to produce the same amount of electricity. 29%, 42%, 38%, or 56%.
38%.
I agree. I couldn't remember the other ones.
Survey says it's 56%.
Wow. I never guessed that.
So let's think about that, right? We talk about fossil fuels being bad, and you're taking the worst, which is coal. I assume, I don't know that, but I assume that it is. Burning coal to produce electricity is considered the most greenhouse gas polluter, and we've been able to knock it down approximately 56%. So it's half what it was, with coal versus natural gas. And I don't think natural gas gets enough credit for that. Like, if my kid has a C average and they move up to a B, that's improvement, right? That's growth. That's moving toward a better, a better tomorrow, more sustainable tomorrow. And I think the biggest issue that I have is that we've like abandoned that thought process, and it's like all or nothing. It's got to be, we have to use all fossil fuels or we have to use none. And I think that that's a weird stance. But anyways, that's this week's gas fact.
Back to gas.
Are we interviewing anybody this week?
Yes. So
Scotty, right? Are we putting Scotty?
The employee profile back? We're bringing the employee profile back to our program and our regularly scheduled airing of episodes. And today we're going to have the wonderful Mr. Scott Newman with us. Scotty is an account manager at Upscale. It's basically the inside sales arm of our our other arm. He's the left arm to our right arm for each one of us. We have guys like that. He's worked at Upscale for approximately.
Don't ruin his interview. You can tell the whole thing. Here's what he does. This is how long he's been here. We're gonna have to listen to it. I'll just interview you about Scott. Hey, Ted, how long has Scott been here? What's Scott's favorite thing about Upscale?
With that said,
Jeez, let him talk. Let the guy's interview go.
with
It
that
was only
said,
like 7 minutes long. You're going to talk for 4 minutes. It's going to be over with. We're going to be like, I already heard it.
welcome to the show, Scotty. Hello, Scotty, and welcome to Connections for Life, my friend. How are you?
Great, Ted. How you doing?
Miserable as usual.
Why'd you get all serious, Scott? Wonderful.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, that's not any way how he talks or communicates with anything. I am fantastic.
What do you mean? This is
Betty.
my-
How are you?
my
I'm
Monday
Scott
voice.
Newman.
This is my Monday voice. By Tuesday afternoon, it's like,
Oh, the sky is falling.
hey,
Scotty, we'll just jump into it, man. Really, thanks for being on the program. It's been a long time coming. I've worked with you personally for a long time, but why don't you just tell everybody what you do for us?
I thought Scotty interviewed with us once before.
No,
No.
I didn't. No.
Man, I'm terrible at this.
And you're interrupting me.
I thought you were.
Can you mute yourself? Is that something you? so Scotty, just real quick, why don't you tell everybody what you do for us at Upscale? It's probably one of the most important jobs. So
All right,
go
thanks,
for it.
sir. I'm an account manager. I generate quotes, process orders, work with customers on solving problems or creating new items for manufacturing, sourcing, distribution items.
Not gonna lie, I
shelf
thought you were gonna
items.
say you went from solving problems. I thought your next one after you said creating was gonna be
Yes, sometimes I do create problems. That does happen.
You left out the most important thing:
Baby sets
What's
up.
that?
dealing with manic outside salespeople.
Yes, and I support the outside guys.
Yes.
Specifically,
Thank you.
myself and Joe, and that's
We all thank you.
I don't help Ted as much. No,
You don't do
Only
much
when
for me. I don't bother you too much.
not at all.
So
You know
how
what I
long,
do?
how long you been at Upscale, Scotty?
It'll be 10 years in October.
About the same. That's same as Joe. Close, right?
Oh,
Around
I
there?
mean, I got a year
12.
on him.
Oh, you just got a year.
I don't know. Longer.
Forgot.
I know I
Longer.
sat there before you did. That's all I
Right.
know. And then one day
Yeah.
you were there, so I felt like I was there the time before that.
One day you were there.
And it seems like longer because Joe seemed like he knew what he was doing when I started.
Yeah.
Still
No.
seems that way.
It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's the illusion of knowing what you're doing. You know what I've learned a long time ago? If you just walk around confused looking, people think you're busy.
Oh yeah.
So
Carry a pad and a pen.
Yeah.
Works every
pen to
time.
pen, you look like
like
you
that
got the
story.
email
You
for
heard about that? You can get into anywhere if you carry a ladder. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Maintenance
guy.
Joe just modernized it for the office space.
Yeah, just like
I have what may be a stupid question that's not on here and right off the rails, but what's your favorite job function? What do you like to do the most out of all the things you do? Like everybody kind of like I hate expenses. I go out of my way to not do my expenses.
I have to
So-
do some today, and I'm just like procrastinating.
So I'm going for the positive side. I don't want to know what
Yeah.
you least like to do.
I like to work with reporting and spreadsheets and numbers and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean the thing that most people hate to do, but that's the time that I'm not getting bothered much by
Right.
nobody's really hounding me for any information. I'm just putting it together for work.
Well, Scotty, I mean, you and I sat back to back for at least 3 years?
Yeah.
For the most part. Scott was my cube mate
Right.
in the early days. So we had a lot of fun up there. And I know you're still in the same spot, man. Like, don't you ever
Yeah.
want to rotate cubes?
Yeah, I got too much crap in my kids. Like living in a house for 20 years,
I'm
I
sure
didn't
probably
get a
some of it's
moving
left
company.
over my crap, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
exactly.
Listen,
I literally have paperwork from like
You
2000.
probably still have Denise's star that Joe gave her.
I do, yeah. That comes out every once in a while.
Do you
I
still have
grab
your
that.
star?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've been there for almost 4 years now, and I'll never forget this. Like probably my first month and a half, I was at a customer, and they're like, "Hey, we need to see if you guys can get us this set of curb boxes." So he was like, "Here, take this," and I didn't know anything, so I was like, "Okay." And I brought it to Scotty. I drove to Moravia and brought it to Scotty. I was like, "Can we buy these? I don't even know what this is." And he was like, He said, yeah, we can buy and sell them for him. I'll get we worked it all up, got it all taken care of. To this day,
It's
that
still there.
box is right there.
Hey,
Right there.
Ted, get your crap out of my queue.
Oh,
Next
You know
time
what?
Here, I'm throwing
It
it
was-
in the truck.
throw it in my
It
truck.
was there until today.
Until today, that's right. Now I remember where that.
Now
came
I remember
from.
where that came from. Oh, that's great.
Scotty, really quick, buddy. I know that we've had a lot of funny, goofy times, especially when I was there. But I just want to ask, as far as like over the 10 years that you've been there, what's the favorite memory you have of Upscale? And you cannot say the COVID break.
No, yeah, trust me, there's no break when it came to COVID, not for us. Probably the early days, Joe. Remember when we used to have a lot of fun upstairs? We'd do some golfing. We'd bring back trade show toys and launch them around the thing and poke people in the eyes with them, and getting buckets of candy dumped over my head. Coming in to find that a bunch of paper punches had been dumped on my desk, and then the cleaning guy cleaned up before I got there. So, just a lot of those old memories, waiting for something to get thrown over the wall at me while I was.
I feel like most of these have something to do with me.
Yeah,
I feel like that most of that reference was,
I totally felt like Scotty was staring at Joe going.
Yeah.
Well,
Like this is the first time he's actually approached the situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Honestly,
Counseling
man,
took care of a lot of it.
I just wanted to have a lot of fun. I think we did. I think it was important to me when I was in the building to kind of keep things light and have fun while we were there, because it can be stressful, right? There's a lot of stressful moments and times, and I thought for sure you were going to say the time that I hacked into the sales TV and put Hulu on our YouTube onto the TV. That didn't last very long, but
no, that wasn't one of the lasting memories.
now you guys know why I don't work in the office anymore.
Yeah,
We already
pretty much.
know.
I think you got told to leave. You're an outside dog now.
Yeah, right.
We already knew.
No, but we definitely put the work fun in the mission
Core value.
statement there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'll ask this next one, I guess, because I haven't done anything else this interview, which is not new. What makes working at Upscale great?
As we talked about before, it's the people. It's a good mix of different personalities and a lot of just good people that want to, achieve the same goal. They want to come in, work hard, get their work done, be successful. And I think that there's not anybody that I deal with here that has any chips on their shoulder or isn't willing to lend a hand. It seems that we got a good cohesive environment, and everybody seems to do their job and get things done.
Except the outside sales team.
Except for that.
These guys are terrible prima donnas.
It all starts there.
You know what the best part about this interview is that Scotty's sitting there in a nice golf shirt with his hair fixed, and we all look like we just
woke up. Yeah. I didn't know it was hat day.
It's not. It's bad hair day.
It's always
I've never
happening,
seen
Scotty,
you
when you
in a
don't do
hat.
anything to your hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen you in a hat.
I worked remotely for a while, and pretty much every day had a hat on.
Yeah, I remember you with that.
Actually,
During the weekend.
I do remember that now. So.
Yeah, I'm a hat guy on the weekend.
Before Scotty, before we let you go, I got to ask you one last question. Who's your favorite outside sales guy? That's one we leave off the list. Pressure at the end.
It's got to be Bill, because he's leaving.
How do you get rid of Scott? I don't have control of that.
I'm kicking him out of the meeting now.
This is never getting posted.
He was just going with the one he doesn't have to talk to anymore.
No, I hate to say it. As far as favorites, I hate to put anybody in that kind of category. Line them up. You're all my favorite. Everybody's great to work with.
Listen, we have big
Just
enough.
like you have favorite
Yeah,
kids too, right?
Yeah. We can start from when you got hired. Joe would be my favorite because he was the first guy. He hired me. I mean, why wouldn't I want to say he's the favorite? I remember my interview. That it was with Dan Pajak, Joe, and this,
Wait a
this
minute.
guy. Yeah,
Scotty came in like a suit, right? Pouring sweat.
wet in my butt. It was
Like
August.
literally just soaking wet in
Oh,
the
yeah.
suit. It looked like he ran to the interview.
I felt like I did. Yeah.
And you guys know us, like we don't dress up, like it's pretty
Right.
very blue collar, right? So we're like, we're like feeling bad for the guy, and he's just over there trying to do his level best. It was just, I mean, he looks like he fell into a swimming pool. He was sopping wet. It was pretty
story.
I remember
Dan
that.
told me to take the tie off. I'd never have to wear that again. And other than a funeral and a wedding, he was pretty much. Yeah. But no, it was an interesting interview, and Joe came in a little bit late. I think he was tied up, and he came in. He had a mohawk, back in the day, his faux hawk.
It was a
days,
faux hawk. It was more
yeah.
faux hawk. It still does it.
Yeah, he does it every
Get the
now and
faux
then.
hawk going.
I can't do it anymore, actually.
Yeah.
Well, that was the
And
funniest. Go ahead.
Dan asked me, and Dan sat right next to me. And Dan, he's very, he's eye to eye. He definitely
Hand on your shoulder.
Yeah. He said, what will you bring to Upscale? And I said, calm.
My lunch.
And at that time, Joe banged his head on the desk, and Dan said, that's exactly what we need. So,
Yeah. Well, you're still here. You're still here, so some worked.
On a serious note, Scotty, I want to say thank you. And we don't do a whole lot together, but I know the support that you give Jen and all the other people in there. I mean, you essentially, anybody that comes in new kind of gets put under your wing, and you do a great job with that. And I appreciate that. And the only reason some of these people know what they're doing to help me is because you've taught them. So I have to say thank you for that, for sure.
Thanks. Thank you.
And having had you as my personal inside guy for the first couple years I was here, man, it was truly a blessing. It was a hard standard for everybody else to live up to, but you've done a great job getting Jason ready. So
Thanks, Dad. Yeah, he's definitely an asset.
I think more than anything, man, you've just always been consistent and reliable. And those are two traits that are very difficult to come by. I mean, I know that I don't bug you as much as I used to, and I try to not, but whenever I actually am under the gun, or I need something done, or I need some help, you're the guy that I'm like, Scotty, I need some help here. I send you that message, and you always get back to me within minutes, man. And we don't say it enough, but we're really appreciative of what all of you guys do, but obviously specifically you, as Chad alluded to, how much you kind of train and teach the new people that come in, and to help them get through all the hurdles that our system creates and all the things that we've all been through. It can be very daunting. And I think you've always done that with a smile, and we appreciate that more than you know. So
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, man, just want to say thanks. Thanks for being on the program.
Please stop calling it the program.
I don't know
the second
what to
time
call
you called it the program.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's Monday.
Maybe we should just call it the program.
he's a host.
He has
of the
Big Bang
program.
Theory on next, because I don't know if I should say it.
Just tune in for the commercials.
Just send us your subscription fee. We'll go get it on there.
Yeah.
No problem.
$399 a month.
I
You
would
get
have been
one
happy
channel.
with 4.
And you get one channel.
Crap.
And the good news is we know that at least one person will watch our episode this week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not watching this.
All right, Scotty, we'll let you get back at it, buddy. Thanks for
Awesome.
coming by. We really appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks,
Scotty.
Appreciate it.
Scotty, I'm glad that you answered the questions in the interview that I talked about in your intro. Thank you, my friend.
What a mess. I don't know. What can I say? I mean, gosh, I worked with Scott like directly for like probably 3 years. Right 5 feet from me, behind me, and what a good dude to work with. And it's crazy when you hear like Scott, like, for me, it feels like he hasn't been here for 10 years, 10 years, like he's been here. And it feels like it hasn't been that long, but I'm certainly appreciative of what he does and what he does for all of us. I think everybody probably is. And, I think leading by example internally and helping those people get up to speed when we bring in new folks has been an absolutely crucial part of our success. So,
Scotty's definitely the building block of the inside sales team. You know what I mean? He's the framework that the house is built on. So kudos, my friend.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm so hungry.
Thanks for sharing, Joe.
I'm like so hungry.
So we're now on to the portion of the show where Joe tells us what he's going to make for lunch.
Oh, what are you going to have for lunch, Joe?
Nothing good.
Brussels sprouts.
You look like Callie. Right there. You got that.
Nothing good.
It's because I'm on this like new diet, right? Just eat like plants.
Good for you, I'm sure.
Plants and a protein, right? Plants and a protein.
But like, it's like you just want to like go get some pizza sometimes, like you just want a slice of pizza sometimes.
I can
I don't
really
know.
go for a good New York style pizza, slice of pizza.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably have
For lunch
actually.
now, Joe. Thank you.
Huh? I think I have. I think I have some fish too. I can eat. So
Lovely. All right.
Okay.
Now that we've figured out a new segment, let's go back
Lots of
to our
salt.
regularly scheduled.
lots of salt.
He's so pouty right now.
I'm just so hungry. You guys, we've been on the like doing this for so long.
We have been on here for 2
For
hours.
an hour and 42 minutes.
Drifted off. Like, don't tell anybody that. They're gonna be like, "What are you guys doing on your real job?"
Actually, we talked about our real job for a while. And
A long time.
6 minutes out of the hour.
Yeah,
And 40.
six-
And we were
60.
on a conference call before that. So
I wasn't.
yeah, you were with me and then Chad.
No, yeah, we were
Oh,
talking
Steve's
before
call.
that. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah. So let's get this wrapped up.
So it's that time where we've been talking about a new article, okay, that we're reading, and I'm going to share my screen here for Joe
Okay.
to do a diatribe on while we
I'm not saying anything. You're running.
Is it the first one or the second one, Joe?
I got them both queued up just in case.
Which one do we want to go for first here?
Not that one.
Because I'm trying to figure out what webpage that
Let's do the
actually is
Connecticut.
from.
Let's do the Connecticut one.
So this one is that showing?
Yeah. TedAllenPete@gmail.com.
Just in case you need to get a hold of him.
You guys need a personal email. It's TedAllenPete@gmail.com.
Close those out there now that my business is in the public.
Nothing
sorry
sacred.
for calling you out on that one. No, I mean, this is pretty self-explanatory. This one comes from powergrid.com, per powergridinternational.com. I don't know what it is, whatever, it's close. This came out, when did this come out? Today.
Today.
the 4th?
Yeah, it's the fourth.
So this is hot off the presses. I think it's interesting. I mean, this is nothing different than what we're seeing in spaces like California and also New York.
And
There's some other small towns and municipalities that are going through this, moving to end. Well, this is ending subsidies for new natural gas hookups. Interestingly enough, it looks like as you read this in 2014, through the end of 2023, there was a decision by the Public Utility Regulatory Authority. Wow, that's hard to say. Public Utility Regulatory.
It's called PURA.
PURA. So they were giving subsidies for new natural gas hookups is the way that I read this. And they've actually removed that. I think what the goal is to move, much like we've talked about New York City, and I think there's like 50 townships in California that are doing it, that are trying to get their, convert new services, new operations. They're not going to be putting in natural gas. So, as I said, go ahead, Chad.
I just want to note on there. I mean, they didn't do very good on getting to their goal as it is. If you really look into it, they've only completed 32% of the 280,000 they wanted to do.
Correct. The conversions. Yeah. Which begs a lot more questions.
Yeah.
Like why? What happened there? Was it
strange? And they say their average cost per service has tripled in the last 8 years, which is pretty wild too. I mean, I could say that in the last 2 years with how crazy this stuff's been, but it's hard to believe the 6 before that it tripled. I don't know. That's
yeah, I know, it's insane. But again, this all boils back to climate, like we talked about in the intro there. I think one of the interesting things again is that we're positioning natural gas as bad. And instead of like transition, like in my mind, like let's just feel this through. Like in my mind, if we're using coal and oil, which are polluting a lot more greenhouse gases than natural gas, why wouldn't you attempt to change those things, coal and oil, to natural gas as like a gateway to cleaner energy solutions, right? Like, why are you attacking that middle space that's already doing the job of reducing greenhouse emissions? And that boggles my mind.
I think it's because it's all grouped together as a fossil fuel energy.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. It's the cumulative effect that is being pushed together.
It's perception, right? I mean, it's really how the media makes you perceive
fossil fuels bad.
Gas,
fossil fuels
like
I agree. I think that for us to be like for us to really, us as humanity, I would say, for us to be like honest with ourselves, we have to admit that we need energy. Like, I think it's insane that I read articles where people are going to be cold, or people aren't going to be able to have things to heat their homes, or they're not going to have fuel for their vehicles.
Or cook. They want to be able to cook some places.
But we've created a culture that requires that to exist.
Mhm.
And to strip that away from people puts people back into a category of like, of substandard living based on the quality of life that we have created for people. And I know that sounds arrogant as an American, right? I realize that, but I think it's insane that we would actually ever intentionally remove something to make somebody's life worse with the goal of eventually making life better. We live today. We don't live 100 or 200 years from now. So why should the people now have to have things taken away from them that enrich their lives? Like, that doesn't mesh for me. I don't get it.
Well, so it's kind of off subject, but it's a similar way of looking at it, at least in my crazy brain. It is I'm old enough to remember when we had to have a huge push away from brown paper bags because it was damaging the tree population so poorly. All right. And we came with an alternative solution of plastic. And now I live in a state where we have banned plastic bags and plastic straws and are using all of this. Now, I know we've had innovation in recycling and the use of paper products and all that. However, in that same kind of stance and time frame, the cost of natural gas from 1980 to now, the production is so much more efficient. There's been so much improvement in the gathering of it and the transmission of it and the distribution of it that we're working well. Why do we do that as a society, though? Because ban one thing wholeheartedly and say it's awful and we can't do it anymore, only to bring it back later when we realize that the alternative you made everybody do can't be held. I remember in the 70s, they were pushing everybody to get baseboard electric heat. And then throughout the entire 80s, they were ripping them out because
what a rip-off baseboard electric heat is. My mom had that. It was like $600 a month to heat.
I think that I think humanity has created a culture where we have to manufacture problems to create crisis for us to have to deal with.
Yes,
because
until somebody wants to deal with it.
That's what makes people feel valued. So we manufacture problems to create crisis, then we have to deal with those.
Or feel scared too.
Validation.
Scared makes you do that, right? If you
but I think, but that's part of the narrative. But I think it's to create validation for a thing. If people were smart right now, like if I was a politician, which I'm not because that would just be a disaster. But if I was a politician, I would be advocating for anything that makes people's lives better.
That's all we're looking for, right?
That's it.
And if that makes people's lives better, even if it's temporarily better, until we come up with a solution, I cannot believe, and I'm switching gears here, but it boggles my mind when I hear people say your gas is so expensive, you should go buy an electric vehicle.
I got to tell you, Joe, I was a little disturbed at home the other day when Lindsay said to me, "Hey, did you know you have to pay to charge your Tesla?"
Yeah.
Do you think it's great?
I was like, what do you think? You just pull up and the electric just comes, like, they don't care. She was like, well, I thought maybe it was included. I go, are you serious? And she was like, I guess you're right.
I saw a viral video the other day of this where somebody had installed a Tesla charger at their house for their personal vehicle. And and a lady pulled up and just started charging at this guy's house. And he was like, can I help you? And she was like, you're on the map.
On the map, right?
You're on the map. And he was like, yeah, but
it was Danny Dime or whatever his name is. Yeah. I saw that. I think here's the reality. When you tell somebody that can barely afford to put gas in their tank that they should go out and buy a $55,000 car to save money, I just want to do some quick. If you're on average paying $80 a week for gas, which is typically a national average, I mean, well, you can Google it.
Let's say it's $4,500 a year for gas.
Yeah,
it would take you like 80 years to pay for the cost of that vehicle. Like,
but you still have to pay for electric. So how much?
Maybe it's 40 years. I don't know. It would take an exorbitant amount of time. And the one thing that gets lost in all this is that politicians and people of money say, why don't you just do that? Because you don't live in the reality of life that we exist in, right? You don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about, if gas costs an extra $1. But there's a lot of people that do. That extra dollar provides them the ability to keep their heat on or feed their families. And if you're not choosing the thing that makes people's lives better, then you don't belong in office. And that's how I feel. But, who am I? I'm just Joe Adidas today. I
Joe Adidas.
I don't know. We want to make things so complicated and convoluted and polarizing and difficult, when the reality is just make things easy and better for people. That should be the only goal, but it's not. And that goes back to our conversation with Evan, I don't know. I'll never get it right. You guys, I told you in that episode. But that goes back to our government and that conversation of, if you want this, I have to get this.
Yeah.
And it should be about what's making everybody happier and whole and better. And it's just never is. And I don't know. It seems really illogical to me. And you guys have seen it too. You see these people by 2030, by 2035, by 2040, by 2050, we're going to be carbon neutral. We're not going to have zero emissions. I don't know if that's possible with the technology that we have today. If it changes, potentially, but right now, that is a dream that's so far out there that there's no path to that without natural gas.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that one of the biggest fixes is if you use CSNRI's Trident seal. You can get that from Upscale.
Nice plug.
Shameless plug.
Went in my product.
I wish I had a button that just went plug.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. No, anyways, I mean, you guys know I can bits on about this forever. I just at the end of the day, I hope people are making decisions that enrich the livelihood and the lives of people that currently exist on the planet now. To be able to, I jokingly said to you guys that my grandparents and your grandparents and everybody else that were dumping chemicals into lakes and burying toxic waste, they didn't care about how the environment was for us because that's the life that they lived.
I'm not even sure if they didn't care. I just don't think they
thought about it.
There was no thought of it.
It
was existing. It was life because they lived in that moment.
Yeah.
We're trying to live in a moment that's hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years ahead of us. And to be honest with you, my opinion, Mother Nature's going to Mother Nature, man.
Yeah.
That's
right.
how it's going to be. So we should go before I say something too bad and then we have to bleep the whole episode or something. But
Yeah.
bye.
We love you guys. Remember to like, subscribe.
Wait. One last thing. I just want to say it's good to be back. I missed you guys. 2 weeks off was the longest hiatus we've had in 2 years.
Yeah.
So let's hopefully no one else missed us, but I missed you guys. I'm glad we got back on.
And we're coming up on 2 years in 13 days, on the 17th of April. That's the first day. The first episode came out April 17th. It's Logan's
April 17th. 2 years ago. Can you believe it?
No.
I look like I've aged 30 years, which is bizarre.
I don't know how I haven't run out of intros yet. They just keep getting worse, though. I mean, they're.
Oh yeah, if you charted them, they're progressively headed. Like you were going like this for a while, and a couple ups and then it was like this.
Now it's just.
No, it's been steady deep. Yeah. I think we're gonna introduce a new segment, though, right, Chad?
I would like to do the storyteller segment. That one, or also most interesting facts. I think those are fun.
We can add both of them.
Storyteller is a fun one, but we have to be assigned each week. One of us is a different storyteller.
Sure. And we'll cut out idioms for a while. Let's just switch it up. Let's just move idioms out and we'll put storytellers in. So you got to come up with a new background. So storytellers is just going to be funny anecdotal stories from travel that we've had. Whether it be
the first one's going to be the worst hotel story.
The first one from me will be my.
Don't say. We'll just.
I want. This is my. I just want. It's a preview. It's my scuba diving experience.
All right, you can do yours next week.
Almost died.
Yeah, sure you did. I know the story. You didn't.
Love you guys, Doug, Leroy. We'll talk to you guys later.
Hey, Doug. Oh, Doug Stafford. I was like, Doug.